That's the trailer over with. Hi, we're Rod and Sue, and this is Travels in Campe, and on this trip, we're off to Spain. We're catching the Brittany ferries Santander from Portsmouth to Santander, and keeping our fingers crossed that the Bay of Biscay is kind to us. Cabins are pretty tidy. All spotlessly clean. And a decent sized shower. I was about to say the size of the camper shower, I suppose.
It's gorgeous out. Oh look, there's a dolphin.
Next day we were up early looking for coffee. This is the Plaza Mayor bar. It's the only bar on the boat, but it's very well run and you very rarely get a queue. La Taverna. If you haven't booked the Sea Club Lounge at £85 per person, or you don't want the restaurant, this is where you'll do your dining. The breakfast, lunch and dinner options were very good, and the sandwiches, pizzas and other snacks in between if needed. And the coffee's not bad. It's not a bad sized breakfast for £9. Very nice. And we also found lunch and dinner good value too, with 2 mains and 500 millilitres of red wine at €34. And that's Brittany. Bay of Biscay, here we come. How's it going so far?
Really, really good.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Very, very, very calm.
We were up early again next morning, not just for coffee, but to see where the boat was, and we weren't too far off the Spanish coast. And finally it's time to get back down to the car deck to get back on board Campe. It took ages for them to open the doors, but at least it was nearly light by the time we got off. We were quickly through passport control, out of the port and following the signs for Burgos. Then I took the wrong slip road, but we ended up finding an Aldi. So we're just stocking up with a bit of food before we move on. And the temperature is just above freezing. We're on the A67 heading south. It's a beautiful sunny day. And up here it's -3 at the moment. We're about 3,000 feet. We had thought about stopping at Salamanca for our first night, but things were going so well we thought we would press on to Casseret and the park we'd found in Park for lunch. This is a free municipal park up, 15-minute walk from the old town, with all the facilities we needed. With grey waste, cassette empty, and 2 water taps that I wouldn't have touched, but there was another water tap out by the parking sign. The next morning, with temperatures hovering around 0 degrees, we walked in to see the old town of Casseret. Casseret was founded by the Romans. It was a stop on the Via della Plata, the silver route. The Moors held it until 1227, when it fell to the Christian reconquest, and fans of Game of Thrones might recognise it as some of Series 7 was filmed here. And this is Plaza de Mayo, one of the largest squares in Spain. This is 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning, but I imagine it's a lively place on a Saturday night. After our very quick tour of Casseret, we were back to the park to empty the loo and the grey water. and we were again heading south. We thought we could make the coast, and we were heading to an axi site at Porto de la Santa Maria.
We're on the AP4 heading for Cadiz. We've just gone past Seville, and this is the last bit of road now. An hour to go, we'll be there.
Camping Playa Las Dunas, an axi site, and they had availability. And this is a nice site. 300 pitches, excellent toilets and showers, a laundry, on-site restaurant and a supermarket. It's situated right on the beachfront, and it's just a 15-minute walk into the town of Porto de Santa Maria. This is Playa de la Puntilla, right opposite the campsite. The first night we were there, we used the excellent on-site restaurant.
What's the reply? Yeah? Yeah, I've never had this fish before.
Me, I went for the Mari eel. I should have probably stuck to the hake. Red in the morning, shepherd's warning. Heavy rain was forecast all day. Before the rain set in, we had a quick look round the very well stocked supermarket and got back to Campi just as the rain started. So it was a day of skip bow, editing and watching YouTube. The next morning started bright enough and we were heading for Cadiz. Unfortunately, the ferry we were going to take was cancelled because of the sea state. We did try and find a bus, but failed miserably. But outside of the bullring, we met a lovely couple, Claire and David, who lived locally, and they advised us to take the train. Not that one. That's our train, coming in on a different platform than was advertised. So with our list of 7 must-see places to see, we were finally on our way. 45 minutes later, we were in Cadiz. Cadiz is the oldest city in the Western world, and it was here, in Greek mythology, that Hercules killed King Geryon, the 3-headed monster. The Romans have been here, of course. The Visigoths took over in 400 AD, and it was the turn of the Moors until 1262, when they were defeated by Alfonso X. Christopher Columbus sailed from here in 1493 on his second voyage to the Americas, and the city was totally destroyed by English and Dutch forces in 1596. After taking so long getting to Cadiz, our list of 7 must-see places to see was reduced to 3. After a coffee in the plaza outside, we visited the Cathedral of Cadiz, which was built during Cadiz's golden age, when it was the gateway to the Americas. The cathedral took a total of 116 years to build, and is well worth a visit. After visiting the cathedral and the seafront, we made our way back to the train station, where we were hoping to catch the 4:30 train back to Porto Santa Maria. It was a close call, but we just had enough time to get a drink in before the train came.
Oh, we've had a good day. Yeah. Yeah.
We were enjoying our stay here at Camping Playa Las Dunas, so we extended our 4-night stop to 6. It was a nice walk through Port Sherry, round to Catalina Beach, where there were 3 or 4 restaurants open, and we liked the Crêpe Fondue. On one of the days we visited the Castillo de San Marco in the centre of Porto de Santa Maria, about a 30-minute walk from the campsite. Castillo de Santa Marco is a 13th century medieval fortress built by Alfonso X, or Alfonso the Wise. It was built originally as a fortified church over an existing mosque. It was Alfonso the Wise's headquarters as he prepared to invade North Africa. Alfonso died before he could invade North Africa in 1284. Castillo now belongs to the Caballero family and winery, who produce some of the finest sherries in Spain. When it rained, it poured, and we were lucky to find some shelter. Our final day at camping Playa La Dunas started off with a thick fog. We were heading to Catalina Beach for an early lunch at the Crefondue Bar and Restaurant. This is a very popular park up close to Port Sherry. And suddenly the fog cleared and we had the best afternoon of this trip so far. Well, we've had some rain overnight, but it's brightened up a bit now, and we're going to pack up today and we're going to head to a park up at Gibraltar. I don't want to show you that. Our turn at the motorhome service point.
Not bad morning. 14 degrees on the dashboard. No rain. No rain. We're about 40 miles away from Gibraltar.
Take a ticket, have you?
Yeah, I reckon so. Take a ticket on entry and pay on exit. You can stay for a maximum of 3 nights. This is a really nice park up. We had a front row pitch looking out over the marina with the rock as a backdrop. All the services you needed: grey water, fresh water and cassette empty. A couple of stickers I recognised: the Babbling Brooks and the Roaming Radfords. Fabulous start to the day, and looking across the marina you could just make out the Alpha G. It's a charter yacht, sleeps 12 in 7 cabins, and it's yours for just €400,000 a week plus expenses. We were off to the Rock. It's a 10-15 minute walk to the border, and we wanted to go and see the Moorish Castle and the World War II tunnels. You have to walk across the runway at Gibraltar Airport, through some housing, the Landport Tunnel, and you're out onto Casemate Square. And off of that is Main Street. Main Street Gibraltar, completely closed on a Sunday, and we think that was a little bit optimistic. The cable car was out of action, so the only way of getting to any of the attractions was up steps. Lots of steps. What we wanted to see was the Moorish Castle and the World War II tunnels, but we found we had to buy a ticket for the whole nature reserve. There were a lot of attractions included, but you would have to be pretty fit and determined if you wanted to get round to see them all. The castle was rebuilt by Muslim forces after they recaptured Gibraltar in 1333. The exterior at the tower shows the scars of numerous attempts to capture over the years. The Moors' spell of occupation lasted 129 years, being expelled by Spanish forces in 1462. There were some good views from the top of the tower.
Just see where our camp is parked.
And that's Morocco. Next year? Maybe. Next it was the World War II tunnels. The first exhibition you come to is a replica of the Spitfire paid for by public subscription by the people of Gibraltar in 1941. The Rock of Gibraltar contains over 34 miles of tunnel. Tunnelling started in the 1700s when the British were defending Gibraltar from the French and Spanish attacks. but a majority of the tunnels were constructed between 1936 and 1945 by British and Canadian tunnellers. An underground city was created, complete with power station, reservoir, hospitals, frozen food stores and bakeries, with enough supplies to last a garrison of 16,000 for 3 months. We finished off the day with fish and chips at the Royal Culp. Following morning, as per forecast, it was miserable, blowing a gale, pouring with rain, and so we decided to move up the coast a bit to a campsite just the other side of Marbella. On this stretch of motorway we came across 2 lots of tolls for a total of €6.10. This was Camping La Bougainville, and the sign at the gate said full. The sign might say full, but it's always worth going in and asking reception. I went in, asked the guy on the desk, and he said yes, they were full, but we could have a drive around, and if we could find anywhere to pitch up, we were quite welcome. And we found this spot here. We're across 2 tent pitches, and we were happy with that. 2-pin socket with 16 amp breakers.
Polarity's ran the wrong way, so we've had to use our adapter that end.
This is a nice site. Modern toilets and showers, swimming pool, and a bar-stroke restaurant. We were heading to the beach. We'd met a couple who said everything was closed, but there's always somewhere. We found this place, Luma Beach. It was too windy to sit outside, but it was cosy indoors. Later in the evening, the wind had dropped, the sun was out, and we were able to sit outside the camper in just t-shirts. The following day, we were off to catch the bus to Marbella. The bus stop is about 100 metres from the campsite entrance.
Yeah.
The old town of Marbella is a pretty place with narrow streets, squares and lots of expensive shopping. At the end of the Second World War, Marbella had a population of 900 and was in a desperately poor area until Prince Alfonso of Hohenlohe-Landenberg opened Marbella Club in 1954 and later the Portabanas Club in 1970, attracting the very rich and the famous of the day. King Fayed of Saudi Arabia was a frequent visitor, with his entourage spending up to €5 million a day. And this is a permanent display of Dali sculptures. And today's population stands at around 150,000, swelling to over 500,000 during the summer months. There are literally hundreds of eating places in Marbella, but we chose Palms, right on the beach. The next morning, after a coffee, we decided to stay put for another night. And we took the opportunity to do a shop in Lidl's as we were running a little bit short of supplies. Middle of Lidl, and a fabulous wine selection. And that evening, we had a really nice pasta bake. So what are we doing today, babes?
We're packing up and we're going just past Malaga, I think.
Yeah.
To a park up on the beach.
We hope so.
We hope so.
If there's room.
If there's room.
A huge thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up. It really does help the channel. In the next video, we struggle to get into park ups at Torrox. We visit Nerja, Camping Roquette. We managed to get in at Camping Los Madrilas, a very busy park up at Cartagena, where we visit the Roma Theatre, Camping Villasol at Benidorm, before heading back to Santander, calling in at Toledo, Valladolid, managing to grab a spot at the very busy park up at Santander, and then boarding the ferry for a rough crossing across the Bay of Biscay. See you in the next one.